silent, please. Not just for the people here in the room, but for those that are watching. We do record Facebook Live. And Tyler, do we still do the audio as well? Just the audio. So if you're unable to watch Facebook Live, you are able to listen in later to just the audio as well. And I believe we post the Facebook Live on our Team Combined Drivers page so that you can watch it. So if you're over the road and you're unable to attend, you guys can always stay in tune with what's going on. I'm Melissa Dockery. I'm the Safety and Compliance Director for Team Combined. And by Team Combined, that means both Combined Transport and Blackwell Consolidation. So if you hear me refer to it as that, that's why. I know you guys are eating, but I'm going to put you on the spot. I do conduct my roundtables a little bit different. I do encourage participation, and by encourage, I mean demand. So if you wouldn't mind, for me and for the people who are watching, I'd like to know what your name is, what division you're going into or are in, and how long you've been with the company. And it doesn't matter if you've been here for 1 day or a year or 10 years. Everybody has something valuable that they can contribute to the meeting. So is your mouth full? No. No? Okay, let's start off with you. Name, division, and how long you've been here for.
Yeah, my name is Daniel Pierce. I've been here for a week.
Okay, and
I'm going for a glass.
you're going for glass. Love it.
My name is Salman Idris. I'm a student, been here for a week,
Okay,
and I'm doing reefer.
reefer. Okay, cool.
Danny, been here a week and I'm doing reefer too.
Okay,
I'm Albert, I've been here a week, and I'm doing the glass.
in the glass. You back there.
Joanne, first day.
First day, flatbed? Okay, owner-operator, awesome. And who's this next to you?
My beloved wife.
Oh, well, I love to hear from beloved wives. What's your name, hon?
Vicky.
Vicky? Okay, and you travel with your husband on the truck? Okay, and you behind?
My name is Rick Love. I'm a supervisor for inspections and for training here, and I've been here since '07.
Okay. Mhm.
My name is Wesley and I'm with Combined Bus Driver.
Mhm.
I've been almost 4 years.
Has it been that long already?
Yeah.
My goodness.
My name is Jeremy. I have been here, be 2 years and a couple months, 2 or 3 months. I am now in the heavy haul division.
Oh, you are? I didn't
I am.
realize that you transferred.
Yeah, just before Thanksgiving, I
Oh.
got the truck for heavy haul.
Congratulations. Awesome.
My name is Maria. Reefer, been here a week.
Okay.
Keith, been here 4.5 years, been driving, this July will be 27 years.
Mhm.
Weed water dedicated.
Okay. Gosh, time flies, huh?
I'm Margarita Moody. I'm the new claims administrator for Combined, and this is my 4th week.
I'm Cody Coons. I'm the safety and compliance admin, and I've been here off and on for 9 years.
And I'm going to pick on you because you're filming me, so.
Tyler, I do the marketing. I've been here for 5 months now,
Awesome.
and I film the roundtable.
And he films a round table. Okay, so I'm going on 10 years. I like to start off the meeting to go over just a little bit about me so you can get to know me, and then we'll segue into some housekeeping and some safety and compliance stuff, okay? Since that's my forte. So I graduated college to be an accountant, and I was doing the books for several different businesses in Grants Pass prior to coming here. My husband drove truck at that time, and you know, my husband, so he worked for Cross Creek, and Cross Creek later became Blackwell, and then Combined bought out Blackwell, okay? So my husband was a pretty angry truck driver. Cross Creek, you know, he ran a lot, and he was tired all the time, he was gone all the time. It's very difficult to be the spouse of a driver, almost as hard as being the driver itself. So I do try to put myself in your guys' shoes in that aspect. And when Combined bought out Blackwell, my husband felt like he was a part of something bigger than himself, and that he was a part of a family or a team, if you will. And I was struggling to make it being a bookkeeper, and so I applied to Combined Transport because I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself as well. and I applied for the accounts payable position, and I did not get the job. So, but I was offered another job, and that was in our partner carrier development department, which did not last long. I was only there for about 3 months. It's essentially brokering to outside carriers. Wasn't my forte. I couldn't do it. I'm geographically challenged. It wasn't a good fit for me. And just when I was about to go back to bookkeeping in Grants Pass, I was offered a position in the driver services department. And back then, driver services was only driver services. So the log department was separate and the over-the-road maintenance department was separate. And I was the driver services admin. And so I managed your guys' time off, your layover, detention, any pay changes, tickets, citations, all that good stuff, right? And then from there, I became the driver services lead. And then from there, the drivers were voicing their opinion that they're tired of being bounced around when they call in. They want to be able to handle several issues at one time. Instead of dealing with the time off coordinator and then, oh, I have a check engine light, let me transfer you to OTR. Oh, I have a log question, let me transfer you to log department, right? So we decided that we would combine all of those departments into one and create a 24/7 one-stop shop. And at that time, I became the driver services manager, and we did just that. We designed a 24/7 one-stop shop for the drivers so that you guys have an outlet or a resource at all hours of the day, whether dispatch goes home or not, right? And so through trial by fire and process of elimination, we fine-tuned it, and I managed it for about 5-6 years maybe. And then I was promoted to the safety director position 3 years ago, August. So I'm working on almost 4 years. So that kind of just gives you an idea of my history with the company. You know, I'm pretty knowledgeable within the company, and the reason why I'm telling you that is because I want to be a resource for you guys. I want you guys to know that even if it doesn't have to do with safety, I'm here for you guys. And more than likely, I'm going to have an answer for you if you call me, even if it doesn't have to do with safety. And if I don't have an answer for you, I will find you an answer. So if you feel like you're not getting resolution somewhere, or you're not sure where to go, or whatever the scenario is, I am here for you guys, and I want to see you guys be successful, okay? That's what I pride myself on. That's why I continue to stay at Combined Transport, going on 10 years. I've never stayed at a company this long before. And the reason why I stay here is for you guys. You guys have chosen a very difficult profession. You guys sacrifice a lot to provide for your families or whatever your situation is. You guys are on the road a lot. You guys have to deal with a lot of different regulations, you know, other four-wheelers acting like idiots, you know, God forbid, accidents that, you know, could ultimately change your life. And my hats are off to you. I could not do that. I went out on the truck with my husband a couple of times, and I was like, take me home. I could not do it. So I have a huge amount of admiration and respect for the truck drivers and for this industry. So with that being said, I really love what I do right now too, the safety and compliance. So I am the safety and compliance director, but at the same time, I also manage our claims department now, and currently training our new claims admin. Her name is Margarita. Please be patient with us. There wasn't really a proper handoff, and we're doing the best that we can. So we do have a lot of stuff to catch up on. We're about 6 weeks behind on claims. So if claims calls you and this is something that happened over a month ago and you're like, why am I just now getting a call? That's why. We're trying to get our arms wrapped around it, and we're doing the best that we can. So Margarita's coming along really well. I'm very excited about her progress in the short 4 weeks that she's been here. So I think that she's going to be a really good advocate for you guys, and she's really going to be able to help you through stressful situations over the road if you're involved in an accident or you discover damage or whatever the issue is, okay? I also manage our safety and compliance department, which is Cody Coons. Cody Coons deals with internal hours of service violations, So what does that mean? That means hours of service violations that your ELD reports to the company, but DOT hasn't caught you yet. So, we're trying to cut down on our hours of service violations. So Cody deals with that. And then he deals with our learning management system. And it's called Infinity. And our learning management system was put into place because our insurance increased our rates significantly due to increasing the increase of accidents and the severity of our accidents increasing. Okay, so that means that we're involved in a lot more accidents, and the severity of those accidents is a lot more. Okay, so they increased our insurance 18%. Do the math on 1.6 million. Okay, and so I was tasked by our insurance company to come up with a new safety initiative to help our drivers be more safety conscious over the road. And so that's where the Infinity system comes into play. That is a safety initiative that I came up with. They're very happy. I was able to reduce our increase in our premiums, and that helps owner-operators too. And so what Infinity is it's just a training platform. You guys are assigned one lesson a month. We try to keep it under 10 minutes long, and then there's a short multiple choice questions afterwards, 4 or 5 questions. And this is just to keep you up to date on, safety initiatives or compliance regulations. So it is mandatory. It is not mandatory for the owner operators, but I do appreciate the owner operators that participate. Less than 10 minutes once a month, you guys. So it's got to be done. And, we are struggling getting the whole fleet in compliance, and we have to have 100% compliance. We have to, because the one driver that doesn't do the lessons will be the driver that gets into the accident, will be the driver that the accident goes into litigation. And when you're in litigation proceedings, the plaintiff attorneys, they want all documents, all records, all training, and we have to supply that. We are, by law, we have to supply that. And so if we supply that you didn't take the safety training lessons that we assigned to you, that's going to hurt us in litigation proceedings. So I'm begging you to please get on board, because I am going to start deducting performance bonus deductions in this quarter if we can't get everybody on board. And I really don't want to go that route. I want this to be something positive. I want everybody to want to be safety conscious, to want to pull together as a team, and have safety in the forefront of our brains when we're over the road. Okay, it's a different world today. It's completely different than what it used to be. Road rage is on the rise for truck drivers and four-wheelers, and people are just driving more stupid than I've ever seen them drive before. So that's why our accidents are on the rise. People are being careless, and even if you get into a short, just a little fender bender and there's no injuries reported at the time of the scene, those people a month later are going and reporting injuries, and then they're suing the trucking companies. And I cannot even tell you how many litigation proceedings that we have because of this. So I need you guys to do everything that you can when you're over the road to be a professional truck driver and have safety at the forefront of your brain, because you never know when it's going to happen to you. And even if it's a small accident, it can turn into a big deal later. Okay, so it's really important, and that is the heart behind Infinity and the learning management system that I wish I could get all of the drivers to understand. It is a big deal, and the more money we can save by you guys being safe out there, and the less litigation proceedings that we get to pass on that savings to you guys, right? In new equipment, updating equipment, bonuses, driver pay increases, and that goes for corporate staff as well, where we get that passed along to us as well. So there's that portion. Then I also manage the licensing and compliance department, and that is Brittany. You guys should have, for the new drivers, you should have met her this morning. So she's responsible for making sure that your guys' CDLs don't expire, that your med cards don't expire, that you are certifying your med cards with the DMV for the state that your driver's license is issued in. That is very important. because they will suspend your license if it's not certified with the DMV. And then we have to shut you down and it's a big old debacle, right? We don't want to do that. We want to keep your wheels turning. She's also responsible for random drug testing. Okay, and the FMCSA has increased the amount of drug testing that we have to do randomly throughout the year. It is now 50% of the fleet on an annual basis. So the likelihood of you being randomly drug tested and alcohol tested has increased significantly. And it could be multiple times a year. We try to make sure that drivers aren't selected every quarter, but we don't get to select them. It is a third party that randomly selects the pool. And Brittany will be the one reaching out to you. Sometimes Cody might be doing it too if we're a little bit behind and need help. So if Brittany calls you and says, "Hi, this is Brittany from compliance. I need you guys to put 2 and 2 together." Because if we say the words, "We have to send you in for a drug test," by law, you have 2 hours to go check in. So if we're trying to fish to see, we don't want to affect the load. We don't want to affect your hours of service. It's already a pain in the butt. So we want to make it as seamless as possible when we send you in. So she might call and just fish around and see what you're up to. And a lot of drivers will say, "Well, am I in trouble? Am I getting fired?" That's not the case at all. We're just trying to make sure that it's as quick and painless for you as possible. Okay. So there's that as well. I want to segue into some housekeeping items. So effective January of this year, so for licensing, we have to pay certain states in order to travel their roadways, okay? New Mexico is one of them. New York is one of them. And now, effective this year, Connecticut is one of them. You know, states are trying to generate revenue. And so they're like, what better way than to collect revenue from trucking companies that travel our roadways? Connecticut has joined that. So John Card, our vice president, wanted me to bring this up, that Connecticut, all drivers going to and through the state need to have a copy of the highway use permit in your licensing book, okay? Brittany is making sure that that is all included in your fleet renewal. And you don't have to worry about it if you don't have it right now, because we have that grace period until March to get everything to you guys. A paper copy will be sent with the licensing renewal, and an electronic version of the permit is acceptable as well. So if you get caught with your pants down and you don't have it on you, Brittany can send you a copy and you can show it on your phone or your tablet or something, and that is acceptable. Blackwell does not have to have the permit. This only applies to combined. You can also request a copy of the permit using your OBC. There is a form for that. It is the last document on the list. So if you request it, it'll automatically be sent to you. So there's that. And then CSA for the newer drivers that did the tour this week. I kind of already went over this, but by a show of hands, who does not know what CSA is? Does everybody knows what CSA is? Okay. So CSA is FMCSA's measuring accountability system. Do I agree with it? No, but it is what it is, right?
What does
So
CSA stand for?
I'm sorry.
I know what it is, but what does it stand for?
Gosh, you're gonna put me on the spot. So it is compliance, safety, accountability program is what it is. So for CSA, there are 5 different categories that we are most concerned with. There's a hazmat category as well, but we don't really haul that much hazmat. So there is unsafe driving. So unsafe driving is your speeding tickets, unsafe lane changes, following too close, not wearing your seatbelt, stuff like that. Hours of service is just that. It's making sure if you guys get a violation for going over your hours of service or incorrectly utilizing personal conveyance or not taking your 30-minute break when you're supposed to, that all goes under the hours of service category. Then there's controlled substance and alcohol, which is just that. Don't drink and drive and don't do drugs and drive, right? Vehicle maintenance, that's where your proper pre- and post-trip inspections come into play. If you get a brake violation or a light violation or anything to do with your vehicle maintenance, that's what category it goes under. Our crash indicator is If there are any crashes that have injury or tow related to it, that gets reported to FMCSA, and we are graded on that as well. And those are the 5 categories. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because we are struggling with our hours of service and our crash categories, okay? So FMCSA says we want to measure how safe of a driver you are and how safe of a motor carrier you are. So every time you get pulled into a scale or you get pulled over by a DOT officer, they give you a vehicle examination report, right? And it lists either no violations discovered or it lists the violations that are discovered. For every violation on that inspection report, there are CSA points associated with that, and it goes to its respective category, okay? So every category has a threshold that FMCSA says that we're not supposed to go over. How they pick this number, I have no idea. But we are currently over the threshold for both companies in the hours of service category. And we are currently over the threshold for the crash category for combined. That is a problem because if we can't get under that threshold, it flags us to DOT that, hey, maybe we should go audit them. Maybe they're not a safe carrier. Maybe they're not doing what they should be doing. And we don't want to open ourselves up to an audit. Blackwell is currently undergoing an audit. And part of the reason why is because we've been flagged in the hours of service category for so long, okay? When they do an audit, they randomly select drivers, and we have to give them your whole driver qualification file. We have to give them your last 6 months of your logs. We have to give them everything. And so if you guys are incorrectly utilizing personal conveyance on a regular basis, or you are going over your hours of service, they're going to see that on your logs, okay? And then that dings the company. That opens the company up for liability. So everything that you guys do affects the whole company, right? So I hear from drivers all the time, well, it's my CSA score. It's not just your CSA score. It is everybody's CSA score because it also dings the company. So when we get over multiple thresholds, what do you think starts happening? I know you know. What starts happening?
You get in trouble. You can lose your job because of your score.
So you can, yeah, absolutely.
He can pull you in anytime he wants to and pull you around back and
That's
say,
right.
look, you're going to stay right here until I get this inspection done.
That's right. So
There's
if
nothing you can do about it.
yeah, so if we get over multiple thresholds, drivers, so we get flagged as a motor carrier at the port of entries, and so they'll start pulling you in more because they see that we have bad CSA scores and we're low hanging fruit for them, right? So what you do affects all of your fellow teammates, okay? All of your friends, all of the truck drivers in the whole company, and it affects the company. So I really, really wanted to hammer that into you guys today because we need your guys' help. If I could go out there and not get violations all day and improve our CSA scores, I would. I totally would do it, but it's up to you guys. And if there's anything I can do to help to make that easier for you, please give me a call and let me know. I try to think of new safety initiatives. I try to make sure that we're on top of being compliant, but ultimately it is your responsibility, right? So that is my CSA update. Then Cody supplied me an update for Infinity and how compliant we are with completing the lessons. So we started in June, okay? And June, 90% of the drivers have completed the lesson. So that number has increased. So 230 drivers completed it, and we still have 25 drivers that have not completed it. October, we are at 89.71%. 32 drivers still have not completed the October's lesson. November, we are at 87.35%. 42 drivers have not completed it. December, we are at 76% and 84 drivers have not completed it. So I see a trend here. And that is that we started off strong and now we're starting to decline on compliance for completing the lessons. So for those of you listening in, or for those of you who are already established with the company and have not done it, I hope you understand how important it is that we finish these Infinity lessons. There's a lot riding on it, and that is litigation, CSA, our insurance company and our premiums. There's a lot of money at stake here, and your overall safety and the motoring public's safety. I want to make sure that you guys go home to your families, and maybe a 10-minute video and 5 multiple choice questions aren't gonna save that, but it will help you be more safety conscious over the road. Okay, and it will help you keep up on new regulations and stuff that we assign to you on a monthly basis. So I'm begging you guys, please do the lessons. Okay, Jared, did you already do a lesson with the
Yeah,
group?
so I had them sign up, get logged in. They started their lesson. I've been noticing though that with the newer drivers coming in, it's not updating their password. So I'm having to go into the system and update some of their information so they can log in.
So we need to let John know that, because that is an automatic API that we've integrated with them so that we don't have to manually input that. So let's let John know that and give him specific examples the next time it happens, okay? Or let me or Cody know and we'll do it. Okay. All right. Is there any questions, comments, concerns about anything that I've spoken about here today? No? Does everybody understand the importance of safety and CSA and Infinity and all the really exciting things that I've discussed today? Yeah? Okay. I'm just going to end the meeting on a pretty good note, I think, and it's more towards culture. You know, I like to tell everybody that we are a flawed company. A lot of drivers who come into orientation, they're waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? They think it's too good to be true, and because they've been abused at other trucking companies or whatever the case is. And I'm here to tell you that we are flawed. We make mistakes. But I think what sets us apart from other motor carriers is that we own up to our mistakes and we learn from them. And for those of you who went through Mike Card's new hire spiel this week, he told you about owning up, learning from it, apologizing for it, and then we move on, right? It's when you continue to make the same mistakes over and over again that they're no longer mistakes anymore, right? So, and that's when we have the problem. So we try to give you the opportunity to fix it, and we don't hold on to stuff. And the same goes for us. We hold our corporate staff to that same accountability as well. So, you get out what you put in here. Does everybody know what that means? Margarita, you want to tell me what that means?
You get what you put into it.
You get out what you put in?
You get out what you put in. Now you're messing me up.
So, what I mean by that, that's right. So if you sleep through your alarm every day and you miss your pickups and deliveries, you don't have on time, or you don't take care of your equipment, or you don't communicate, or you don't take pride in what you do, you're not going to make it here.
No.
I'm just here to tell you that right now. But if you take pride in what you do and you communicate and you take care of your equipment and you make on-time pickup and delivery, then sky's the limit. I'm telling you, I started off in brokering and now I'm the safety and compliance director with the company. You get out what you put in, and the same goes for the drivers. Yeah. You started off in glass and now you're in heavy haul, right? Or you started off in Blackwell, went to glass, and then you went to heavy haul. Sky's the limit. You want to be a multi-axle driver? Put in your time. Do a good job. Get the experience you need. Be successful. And you guys can absolutely reach that goal. And that's the goal I'm sure that you're working towards, huh? You want to be a multi-axle driver?
Well, that was my original goal.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like the
that's
idea
okay.
of the regional,
Yeah.
The RGM regional. so
That's awesome.
that
That's
might be
okay.
where I go for now, but
Things
yeah.
change. The point is that one of the best things about this company is just because you start off somewhere doesn't mean that you have to end there. There's plenty of room for advancement or lateral moves or lane changes or whatever it is that
Bigger,
I'm sorry?
bigger.
Bigger, better, whatever you guys want. Smaller, you guys want smaller, you guys can go backwards too. It doesn't matter. It's not even really backwards. It's just really what makes your heart happy. That's what we want you guys to do. Yeah. That's what we want you guys to do. Make your heart happy. Okay? All right, you guys. I appreciate your time. Thank you so